Welcome back to another lesson, guys. I just want to thank you for watching, and hopefully you and your families are all safe. In this video, I'm going to be talking about drawing box plots with 5 measures of statistical summary. Now, this lesson is basically to take everything we've learned in the last few videos and kind of put it all together. All right, now in the last video with box plots, and I'll put a card up at the top for you, we talked about the 5 measures of statistical summary. That is your min, Q1, median, Q3, and max, all right? And then we're going to be going back to the calculator in order to find that information. So don't forget those buttons that we learned, and I'll put a card up for that lesson as well. Remember, it was second plus 712 to clear, stat enter to put all your numbers in, and then stat right and enter to get all your information. All right, and then we're going to take all of that, and then we'll be able to draw a box plot. And these questions do come up on the regions, so it's important to do. They're usually a part 2, and you want to get full credit because they're very easy. So let's dive right into this and check out the first regions question that we had right here. Okay, so it says here the test scores from Mrs. Gray's math class are shown below, and it says state the values of the minimum, first quartile, median, third quartile, and max. Then construct a box plot with these values. Now, one thing you have to know is the Regents is not going to provide this written out like this, guys. I did that just to organize my information, and because if I was writing everything out with my writing pad here, it would be very sloppy. So I want you to see exactly what I'm doing, so I have it all set up for you. So let's put all this information into our calculator and get that point on the Regents, because that is the first point you will get, is correctly identifying the information they're asking for. So remember to clear your calculator. Second plus 712 enter, then it's stat enter, and now you put all the test scores in. 72 enter, 73, 66, 71, 82, 85, 95, 85, 86, 89, 91, and 92. And now to get your info, it's stat, right, enter. And now scroll down. And that's everything you need right there. From the min all the way to the max are your 5 measures of statistical summary. So let's put that on the Regents and get that point. So the min was 66. So I go to the min, and I put 66. My Q1, 72.5. My median, 85. My Q3, 90. And my max value, guys, was 95, the highest number of test scores we had. Okay. Or I should say the highest grade of test scores we had. All right, so now the question becomes, how do you get this information right here on this line? First, it's important to know that the Regents may or may not provide an actual line for you. If they don't provide one, you'll just draw it in. You'll have a ruler to do it. What is important, guys, are the numbers you put on the number line. All right. Now, I get a lot of questions about this, and the students will ask me where to start. Here's my rule of thumb. I go to the min. My min is 66, so I basically start with a number that's less than 66, so I chose to start with 60. My max or largest number was 95, so I chose to end my number line at 100, which is greater than 95. As long as you do that, it will always be okay. It will always be correct. And now you can decide based on the numbers that you have, how do you want to set your interval up? Do you want to count by ones and go from 60 to 100 counting by ones? I chose obviously to count by 2s. You can count by 5s, you can count by 10s, you can count by 20s. Whatever you think will work best for the numbers that you have. Once you decide that and you're ready to make your box plot, here's what you do. We never put the box plot actually on this line. It's always going to be above, okay? So what I tell my students to do is this. Go to 66, put a dot there because that's our min value. Now we want to do 72.5. Notice you don't have 72.5. It's in between 72 and 74. So just put it somewhere in between, closer to 72, but you just want it in between those two numbers there. It doesn't have to be exact. 85, same situation. It's 84, 86, 85's in the middle. 90, that's right here. And then, of course, 95. Again, in between 94 and 96, so you put 95 in the middle just like that. All right, now you're almost done. Now, what you want to do is go to the second dot and draw a vertical line through it, just like that. Draw a vertical line through the third dot and draw a vertical line through the fourth dot, just like that. Notice I didn't go all the way down to the number line. Now, what you're going to do is you're just going to connect them as best you can. And then you connect the bottom. And if you notice, I drew the box in the box plot. Now all you have to do is connect your endpoints or your whiskers. So you go like this. There's that one. And then you go like that. And there's that one. Now guys, notice this isn't perfect. It doesn't have to be. You will have a ruler when you do it on the Regents, but even if it looks like this, it'll be okay. And that is drawing your box plot. Full credit. Now what I'm going to do for review purposes, I'm just going to label this. This part here was our min of 66. This was the Q1 or quartile 1, first quartile. This was your median. This was your Q3. And then of course, guys, this was your max. And that, guys, is full credit on the Regents. That's how you put the data in the calculator, write out your 5 statistical summary data, and then draw a box plot. Simple. Let's look at one more. Okay. Another Regents question. Robin collected data on the numbers of hours she watched television on Sunday through Thursday nights for a period of 3 weeks. The data are shown in the table below. Now it says, using an appropriate scale on the number line below, state the 5 measures of statistical summary and construct a box plot for the 15 values. Once again, the Regents is not going to provide this to you. That I just put there to organize the data. You have to write that on the Regents. So now, first step, let's get all this information into our calculator. So we're going to clear the calculator. Second plus 712. Then it's stat enter. And now it's going to be 4, 4.5, and 4. Then it's 3, 5, 3. Then it's 3.5, 2.5, and 1. Then it's 2, 3, and 1.5. And then finally it's 2, 1.5, and 2.5. And remember, to get your values, we always hit stat, right, and enter. And there's your information. Scroll down to where it says max. And there, guys, is your 5 measures of statistical summary. Get that on the Regents right away and get that point. Okay, so my min is 1. Q1 was 2. Median was 3. Q3 was 4. And of course, the max was 5. Simple. Now, let's look at the number line they gave us. Once again, the Regents is not going to put the numbers in for you. I just put them there to be neat so you could see them clearly. Notice what I chose to count by. Remember what I said? I said always start with a number less than the min. So the min is 1. So I started with 0.5 and I counted by halves or 0.5s all the way through. Notice my max was 5. Notice I ended at 5.5. The rule of thumb is start with a number less than the min and end with a number greater than the max. Simple. Now all you want to do is put dots where the numbers go. So our min value is 1. So I go to 1. Remember, we do not put it on the line. It's always above. And you just put a dot at 1. Simple. Next, we're going to put a dot at 2. This was an easy one. Put a dot at 3. Put a dot at 4. And you put a dot at 5. Now remember what we said before, guys. Just draw a vertical line through the second dot, not all the way down. Draw one through the third dot, and draw one through the fourth dot. And then you're just going to connect them. There's your top of the box here, and there's your bottom of the box here. And then don't forget to do the whiskers or the endpoints. Boom. And boom. Guys, if you do that on a Regents, you got full credit on this problem. That's all this is. I'm just going to identify what each one of these is just for review. Remember, this was your min value. This was your Q1. This was your median. This was Q3. And this was the max. Guys, that's how you draw box plots using the 5 measures of statistical summary after we put it in the calculator. That's basically it for box plots, guys. Download the notes and worksheet. Comment below on what you liked, what you didn't like, or if there's anything I can help you with. If you have questions for me, please email me at bwritingchs@yahoo.com. Please subscribe, like, and share this video to anyone who needs to see it. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and please stay safe, and I will see you on the next lesson.